Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. And as always, I appreciate you for joining the podcast. You could have chosen to be anywhere else in the world, but you came here. And I never, ever take that for granted. So let's go ahead and get started. Today's episode is a little more personal because I want to talk about something that has completely changed my life. The importance of putting yourself out there. If you know me today, you probably think I'm comfortable talking to anyone. I'll strike up a conversation in the grocery store, speak in front of a room, interview for a job, record a podcast, or share my opinions online. But that wasn't always the case. There was a version of me that kept a lot inside. I worried about saying the wrong thing. I worried about people judging me. I worried about looking foolish. And if I'm being honest, I spent years letting fear make decisions for me. Looking back, I realized fear didn't just steal my confidence, it stole opportunities. One thing I've learned is that fear isn't always loud. Sometimes fear whispers. It says, don't apply. They probably already have someone. Don't call them, you'll bother them. Don't start the business, someone else is already doing it. Don't post that video, people will just laugh. Don't tell your story, they'll think less of you. Those whispers, they sound reasonable until years go by and you realize you've been living inside a prison that fear built for you. The bars weren't made of steel, they were made of self-doubt. And let's be honest, people don't care either way, whether you share it or you don't. So those intrusive thoughts that you have, it's nothing but fear of something that doesn't exist. Many of you know parts of my story. I've experienced unemployment, financial struggles over and over again, long-standing struggles. Moments where I questioned whether I'd ever get back on my feet. And I still question that sometimes today. There were times where I wanted to disappear. Not because I had nothing to offer, but because I felt embarrassed by where I was in life. I thought if people knew my struggles, they would define me by my worst moments. Then something happened. I stopped trying to protect an image and I started telling the truth. And instead of pushing people away, it brought people closer. People didn't see weakness, they saw honesty. And honesty builds trust, which squashes fear. People don't always connect with perfection, but they always connect with realness. Social media makes us think everyone has it figured out. Perfect jobs, perfect families, perfect vacations, perfect finances. But that's not real life. Real life includes setbacks, mistakes, rebuilding. I've learned that people don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity, as I just stated. The emails I've received, the conversations that I've had, the encouragement I've been given, almost never came because I shared a success. They came because I shared a struggle. Someone would say, man, I thought I was the only one. Or thinking you thank me for saying what they were afraid to admit. That's when I realized your story isn't just for you. It's for the person who needs hope. Here's something else I've learned. You never know who's paying attention. I was hired one time for a job because someone was drawn to my story. They saw the struggle and they saw themselves in me. And they knew the only thing I needed was a chance. They knew I could do the job because of the amount of passion that I put into anything that I do. They knew would translate very well. So I'd never forget that VP, who is now a mentor, stopped the interview probably 25% of the way through. And he said, I've been looking for you for 4 months. When can you start? And that's what telling your story and getting out of fear can do for you. A recruiter, they may hear one of your podcast episodes. And someone you've never met may recommend you because of one conversation, because of one sentence, because of one story. One relationship can change your career, one introduction can change your finances, and one opportunity can change your family's future. But none of that happens if nobody knows you exist. Visibility creates opportunity. Not every opportunity, but opportunities you'll never receive by staying hidden. Now, I'm not telling you this because I mastered it. I'm still learning. I'm still sitting here waiting for my next opportunity as I do this podcast. Every interview still makes me nervous. Every time I hit publish on a podcast, I wonder if anyone will listen. And I still wonder that because my viewer count is still pretty low, guys. So make sure you share this stuff. Every time I tell a part of my story, there's still a small voice that's asking, what if people judge you? But I've learned something more powerful than confidence: courage. Confidence comes after you do something repeatedly. Courage comes before. Sometimes you have to act before you feel ready. And that's what growth looks like. If you're waiting until you are fearless, you'll wait forever. If you're waiting until you're perfect, you'll never ever begin, because ain't nobody squeaky clean. The people who change their lives aren't always the most talented. They're often the ones willing to be uncomfortable longer than everyone else. They apply one more time, they network one more time, they introduce themselves one more time. They just keep showing up, even after disappointment, even after rejection, and even after failure. One lesson took me years to truly believe. Your past explains you, but it doesn't define you. If you've suffered any setbacks, remember that. If you filed bankruptcy, that's not who you are. If you had an addiction, that isn't who you are. The unemployment, that's not who I am. Those are chapters. They're not the entire book. Whatever you are carrying today, a divorce, layoff, financial hardship, health challenges, broken relationships, those experiences may shape your perspective, but they don't determine your future. You will get to write the next chapter. So here's my challenge. This next week, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable. Apply for that job. Call someone you've been afraid to contact. Start your business. Launch your podcast. Post your first video. Go to a networking event. Introduce yourself. Share your story. Not because it's guaranteed to work, but because nothing changes if you stay hidden. The world doesn't benefit from gifts that never leave the wrapping paper. I'll leave you with this. The person speaking to you today isn't someone who was born confident. He's someone who finally got tired of letting fear make every decision. And every time I put myself out there, whether it works or not, I'm reminded that courage grows through action. So don't wait until you're fearless. Move anyway, speak anyway, apply anyway, believe anyway. Because your next opportunity, your next friendship, your next career, or even your next purpose may be waiting on the other side of one courageous decision. Remember, people have so much going on that they don't really care anyway, for the most part. So that fear of being judged, who are you going to be judged by? Somebody who's sitting over there with their own problems, with their own fears, with their own insecurities? To me, it's very therapeutic to put yourself out there, within reason, of course. You don't need to tell your deepest, darkest secrets, but if you're going through a challenge and nobody knows it, how are you going to get help getting through it? A closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you need some food and you're hungry, go out there and ask for it. And maybe, just maybe, somebody will put that steak, your favorite vegetable, your favorite fruit, or your favorite appetizer right in front of you. And they would have done it earlier, but they didn't know that you were starving. Your breakthrough may begin the moment you decide to put yourself out there. As always, this is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. And until next time, I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed week. And be safe out there. Today is a holiday, and the last thing you want to happen is a fire, or worse, because you're just celebrating a day off. Everything in moderation, and always be careful. But enjoy yourself as well. I'll talk to you soon.